Okay, heading down Highland Avenue. So if you remember North Highland, which is the main road through town, Highway 45, the original Highway 45. This is that road heading north. So if we turned around and went back, we'd go right into town, right where the hospital is. So anyway, we are turning left here on Fairway Boulevard. Yeah, that is a trailer park. Been here for years. North Park's right up here, which is nice. All right, so this is kind of the, the Highland entrance. So it just kind of comes through a little commercial area. There's a body shop and some storage buildings and things like that. The neighborhood's kind of right over that way on the other side of this tree line. But once we get past the commercial aspect, we get into a little bit of an older neighborhood. So this neighborhood was kind of 1970s. It's not a bad neighborhood. Not really a concern about anything in here. It's just not the same type of neighborhood as Palmer Woods. So when we leave, now it kind of transitions. This was the 70s and 80s. This is the 90s. So this is the back portion. This is kind of what was put in the 90s, and Palmer was put in off of this. When we leave, we're gonna go this way. This will take us out the side of this neighborhood. I can't remember what this neighborhood's actually called right here. I can't remember. But anyway, again, built in the mid-90s. Here is Palmer. Straight ahead at the end is Windstone. So they end up very similar neighborhoods, and they connect with each other back here. So this is Palmer. This is the actual entrance to Palmer. So these are, you know, year 2000 and newer. Actually, probably year 2005 and newer. That is going to actually, at the end, go and turn and become two more streets in those trees there. This is a good neighborhood. It's really a good starter home neighborhood, but understand when I say starter home, kind of maybe more professional level starter homes. I've had a lot of clients that have owned in here. I sold probably half of these homes when they were built. My niece lived here on Wintry. Good, clean neighborhood, walkable. This is Doe Valley right here. So this is the latest addition. That's a cul-de-sac down there. So right behind these houses here is the old golf course. It's now a city-owned park. Same builder that's building here built all of these. So give you an idea of what his work looks like. Okay, this is the new section. As you can see, it's they got a slab poured. That's good. As you can see, sold. So they're selling pretty quick. You know, a little bit of a view of that that old golf course there. The city owns half of it. I'm not sure if they own this part yet or not, but I know there's a tennis facility right over there. If you can see those green fences, that's a park, city-owned tennis park. We've got about 20 courts over there, and they're supposed to expand on this park with that. In other words, that's going to be the focal point, but there's going to be other park-oriented things. This right here is the corner one that we've been talking about. If you guys decided to do this, that would be your house. Remember when I pulled in, I pointed to the end of that road and I said that road's going to eventually go and turn up, well, that's where it's going to go. It's going to go and turn right up this road, and then it's also going to go down a little farther, and it's going to be another cul-de-sac back in those trees. So just turn it around. That's the entrance up there where I came in on the main. This is Palmer Drive. So I'm going to turn. If you remember, at the end of that Fairway Boulevard, there was Windstone I was telling you about. This is how Palmer and Windstone connect. Just as since Windstone's connected and so similar, I want you to see what these homes look like too. This is where it transitions, and these are actually built by a different builder. If you remember, I sent you some plans for, I think this is all going to be developed, more part of this Windstone development, but I sent you some plans with the neighborhood, or with the street name Pelican. I think it was Pelican Drive. That's what these guys are building one street over. So right behind these houses here is another street, Pelican, and that's where they're building about 10 or 12 homes right now. That's their next phase. So this is Fairway Boulevard. This is where we came in off of Highland. So there's the next section. You see they're framing up one right there. So we'll just head back out Fairway. So when we leave Windstone, which is going to be right here at this tree, you can see the little brick entrance there. Now we're back into that 90s neighborhood. How about that green roof? This is Palmer. There's the entrance to Palmer. And now I'm going to take you out the side entrance, and this is really where people have a little bit more of a concern about getting back in here. The way I came in, you don't really have much to go through other than some commercial stuff and a few, you know, a couple of homes there in that older neighborhood. But this side, you go out onto what we call Moisey Cutoff. Actually, I think it's Volunteer Drive, but it turns into Moisey. Anyway, this cuts across to the bypass, and well, the road we're about to see. And on this side, it's a lot of rentals. So a lot of rental homes, pretty much starting right here. These are all rental homes. And then right across the street up here is a couple of apartments and some quads. So there's some quads right there, apartments, and this takes you over to the bypass. So Palmer and Windstone kind of sit in between Highland and the bypass, and I took you in on the Highland side, and I'm bringing you out on the, well, eventually, if I kept recording, I'd bring you out on the bypass side. But as you can see, these are all duplexes, quads. I mean, this is a gated neighborhood, but it's all rentals, little rental community. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, again, there's a, you know, Palmer and Windstone, very successful. A lot of people live over there. I've had family that lived in there. They loved it. No problems at all. But you can kind of get a sense of why sometimes people are concerned about buying in there. They say they just don't like what you have to drive through to get to it. They like it once you get in there, but they're not a fan of what it's like to drive through. Now, from a temporary housing position, it really doesn't matter. It's extremely popular and very successful. You wouldn't have any problems at all reselling in there. Everything in there sells as fast as they come up for sale. As you can see, it's faster than they can even get them built. So anyway, straight ahead, the red light that you see in the distance, that is the bypass. So you can go to Highland or the bypass from Palmer very easily, very quickly. Turn left on the bypass, go up basically one red light, and you're at Kroger and Target. So that's it.